Good evening, humans. Welcome back to episode 2 of Disheveled Justice talks in front of camera, while also ignoring his other responsibilities. For this week's video, I felt the need to talk about Resident Evil. Now, I've been playing a bunch of different Resident Evil RE games back to back. I first started playing RE4 on professional, obviously in preparation for the remake coming out in I was gonna do the quick math in my mind, but I'm not sure. 9 months? That's not how math works, bitch. It's 6. 8, because if you take the 2, 7 months, I believe. Hopefully I'm right. 6 plus 6, 12, 13. When the fuck does the game come? Bitch, I'm just gonna say 9 months, and I'm hoping I'm right. I first started playing RE4 in preparation for the remake. I'm going through RE8 right now, and I literally just have one trophy left in RE8, and it's the fucking damned Mercenaries bullshit ass mode. You have to get you have to get an S rank in every fucking shit, man. And the factory part 2 is kicking my ass, and it has for the past year. You know, I almost got the fucking platinum in RE8 a week or like a month after the game came out, but that bullshit ass fucking Mercenaries mode is keeping me from getting the fucking platinum. I said I was going to have this video be very laid back, but I'm seeming rather unhinged very early on in this video. So I've been playing through RE4, I've been playing through RE8, and right now I'm actually coincidentally downloading RE7 because that's also another game that I almost am having a platinum in, but that fucking Jack Baker fight on Madhouse is whooping my fucking ass when the nigga's a big fucking blob and shit. Well, I'm actually having really fun recording this video. I did not think I was gonna be this hyped. And a few hours ago before, I was actually playing through the original RE2 on the PS1, and it just hit me out of nowhere. This series has been going on for quite some time. Let me pull out handy dandy Google because I'm not sure if my memory is going to serve me right, but potentially 1997. I believe 1997 was RE2 actually. Yes, 1998 was RE2, 1996 was RE1. PS1 game. Still a prominent fucking series. That is not something that you see every day, you know? Think about how many game series you can think of right now in your conscious brain without Googling it that are still prominent to this day, and if anything, are getting larger in its fandom. Like series like Gex and started and ended on the PS1. Games like Crash Bandicoot started on the PS1, kind of died out in the PS2 era, and was gone throughout the PS3 and came back during the PS4. Series like Final Fantasy started, well, it didn't start on the PS1, but you know, had its like wide, large ass peak on the PS1. Kind of coasted through the PS2, then PS3 and PS4 really faded, and it's still not in the same popularity as it used to be, even though it's still widely a popular series. I'm not taking away Final Fantasy. But think about Resident Evil, lads. This series has gone on for decades, and it's still widely popular, and like I said, I'd argue that it's even getting more popular as time goes on. And that is something that you just don't see in gaming very often. And I would try and sit here and try and diagnose how Capcom has seemingly done that, especially when you think about Capcom's other series. Think of dormant series like Dead Rising. A few years ago, Devil May Cry would have been a forgotten Capcom series. Capcom actually has its hands in many different video game franchises, but none as peculiar as Resident Evil to me, in my opinion. And it's just, it's a very curious situation as to how they seemingly have done this. Now, obviously, life is just full of luck and surprises, but also a bit of tact as well. And I feel as though the main stick of why Resident Evil is still so prominent today is because of the innovation. Now, and obviously, I was not alive in 1996, but from what I've heard, Resident Evil and the Resident Evil style of survival horror was a rather new way of playing games back then. And in Capcom, obviously, they ditched that later on in the series. Resident Evil 4 is a completely different game from how Resident Evil 3 is played. Resident Evil 6 is a completely different game to how RE4 and RE5 played. Resi 7 and Resi 8 and presumably Resi 9, if the leaks are true, is going to be a totally different game from all of the previous RE iterations. And it's this constant flow of like I said before, innovations that I feel like keeps the series fresh. Like for me, I made a video a couple days ago talking about how boring gaming has gotten for me. Every game really kind of feels the same to me nowadays. But when I was playing these Resident Evil games back to back, I realized, wait, all these games I'm going back, they're in the same series, but they all have different signature feels. I was playing RE2 original, then I played RE4. It's not the same game. I was playing RE4, then I popped in RE8. It's not the same game. Obviously, RE8 and RE7 are very similar because, you know. But that is not something I would ever do for, say, a Persona game. A Persona or SMT game. I'm sorry if people don't know what Persona or SMT is. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're a returning subscriber of mine, so I'm just gonna act like you know what Persona SMT is. But those games play even though some mechanics might be different, fundamentally they are the same game. So I wouldn't go from Persona 4 to Persona 3 and expect a different experience, or even kind of Persona 5 to Persona whatever, expecting something different and expecting a different type of feel. But if you go throughout the Resident Evil series, if there's enough time between the games released, there's a different feel to it, and it keeps it unique. Now, and obviously, there is a clear debate within the fandom of these games that are all like, oh, this era of RE is better than that era of RE, and this era of RE that we're currently in is the worst era, and that is a discussion that will be in any fandom, in any group of people, anywhere. But I think that's kind of key to the success. Like, if you really think about it, as much as I enjoy the classic Resident Evil feel on the PS1, the turn-based survival horror, if we were still playing that turn-based joint to this day, do we think Resident Evil would still be around? I'm going to be totally honest, lads. I do not think so. Well, at least I would say I definitely wouldn't be around playing these games today. Every game within RE just feels unique. Even in the games that feel similar, like RE8 and RE7. RE7 is the definite more scarier title in, if I'm honest, the controversial take, which I didn't say in my previous video, I don't find Resident Evil scary. The only two Resident Evil games that I've found scary would be the beginning of RE4, and then maybe the middle, where I believe that character is called the Regenerator, and then RE7. Those are the two only Resident Evil games that I found legitimately scary. All the rest of the games were just, there. I'm not saying they're bad, obviously. I'm a fan of the games, but I just don't find Resident Evil scary in the way that I feel other people do. But RE7 is the definite more scarier, more frightening game out of RE8. And RE8 is definitely the more action-oriented game. Kind of like how, in my opinion, RE2 Remake and RE3 Remake are very similar in the way that they play, but RE2 is definitely the more scarier game, and RE3 is definitely the more action-based game. And that's kind of why I'm very much excited for RE4 Remake, bro, because I feel as though this will be the more scarier version of RE3 Remake, the remake formula, because every Resident Evil, I'm sorry, this is a very unhinged video. I don't have notes. I don't have any bullet points. But every Resident Evil has a very era based feel to it. Resident Evil 1 through 3, those were the three tank control. Those were the three tank control pre-rendered background joint. RE4 through RE6 were the over the shoulder action game era. RE8 through RE7 through RE9 are going to be the first person era, and then the remake era is the over the shoulder type of deal that's still continuing on from RE4. I just think that's so cool. Different eras going on simultaneously at the same time. So I sit here and I just wonder, what era is next? You know, it's interesting because I don't know if in 1996 RE1 was very innovative for its genre, and if it was a new genre that was made, or if it was just kind of piggybacking off of something else. Actually, I'm pretty sure RE1 did piggyback off of something else, a different creation, but it just wasn't the same. It took it in a new direction. But in the same way that presumably RE1 started a new concept in gaming, and RE4 started a new concept in gaming and over-the-shoulder action games, what era does RE go after this? After RE9, after the trilogy? Because like I said before, in this series, there does seem to be a trilogy type of thing. The PS1 trilogy, the PS2 trilogy, which still kind of continued on through the PS3. And then the current PS4/PS5 trilogy that is coming to an end with RE9. Ooh, I guess the remake trilogy is the longest one, because RE1 remake, well, that first started on the GameCube with the first game, and then RE2, then RE3 remake, and then RE4 remake is coming out. So actually, it's a 4-piece for the remakes. Go y'all. But what new era do y'all see RE going in after this? I don't know if Capcom can really make a new type of concept for this game, but if they do, what direction do you think they would take it, man? If I'm being fairly honest, just in my opinion, I'm getting a bit sick of the first person games. I'm not a first person hater. I really enjoyed RE7. That's a high up there. That's a high up there game for Resident Evil games that I like. But RE8 made me realize that it's just either that game just wasn't. I don't know. Playing through RE8 right now, it just makes me realize I'm not a huge fan as I thought I was. I enjoy the first person in RE7. I don't enjoy it as much in RE8. And if RE9 is the final chapter in the first person trilogy, I will be very, very pleased. But anyways, man, this is my ramblings at 3 a.m. talking about Resident Evil when I should be doing my maths homework, but I severely cannot be asked. But yeah, it's been me, Justice. Thank you for taking your time out of your day, evening, night, or whatever the fuck you call it in your language. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace. And this channel is not turning into Resident Evil. I know I'm talking about Resident Evil a lot. It's just, bro, it's the only game I'm looking forward to right now, man. Of course I'm going to be talking about it a lot, dude. My content will return back to what it usually was when I remember how it feels to be fucking happy. Bye.